Hey, welcome back. We're going to do another top 5, and this time we're talking about the top 5 books that had a huge emotional impact on me. You know, sometimes a good book can make you cry. And some people cry harder at books than other people, but there's a few books out there that'll make me tear up. There are some books that you read and then have a big sigh. There are other books that you read and you may shed a tear or two. There are some books that you read and you have a good cry. And then there are those books that just emotionally wreck you. Rip out your heart and trample on it. These are 5 books that most impacted me at the time that I read them. Starting in at number 5 is the book The High King by Lloyd Alexander. The whole Prydain Chronicles are absolutely wonderful, but it culminates with a really heartbreaking and wonderful book called The High King. Tarzan will always be one of my favorite characters in literature, and I love that series so much and go back and reread it frequently. But as the characters struggled through these final battles in the last book, my heart was wrenched out of my chest. I even went so far as to write a letter to Lloyd Alexander, and he wrote me back a wonderful and beautiful typewritten letter. It was my first real experience interacting with an author, and it will always be one of my very favorites. At number 4 is the book Gilead by Marianne Robinson. It's a book that starts out very reflectively and slow. It's about a very old preacher. It grows subtly and more intensely until you can't put it down. And by the end, it is so heartbreaking and heart-wrenching that when I finished it at 2 a.m, I had to go sit at my children's bedsides and stare into their beautiful sleeping faces and sob. That's the kind of book it was. And number 3 is the book Tarzan. If you've never read the book Tarzan, you don't realize how very heartbreaking the ending is. Spoilers. I read it shortly after I had fallen in love for the first time, and it crushed me. Whenever I look back at Edgar Rice Burroughs and his work, I always find them fairly problematic. But at that particular time in my life, Tarzan broke my heart. And number 2 is the book Jude the Obscure by Thomas Hardy. Hardy is a master of putting his characters in agonizing situations. Throughout this book, I just longed for Jude to have some happiness, to finally find something that he truly wanted. He had such great dreams and goals, and we watched as they're crushed again and again and again. The ending was so agonizing that I was depressed for a week afterwards. And finally, the number 1 book that truly crushed me, it took me so long to get over, was Bridge to Terabithia. Yeah, did you see that one coming? That ending will never be okay for me. There are plenty of books that have made me cry a bit here and there, or at least tear up. But these 5 have really hit me hard, especially for the moment in life that I was reading them. So do you like to cry at good books, or does it just frustrate you? What books have hit you the hardest? Thanks for watching. You can click on another episode, or you can subscribe. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.